In the previous video, we have understood that how can we access a bean from an application context. So in that we are also discussing about inversion of control. So in the inversion of control, there is a process whereby objects define their dependencies only through constructor arguments and properties that are set on the object instances. So that is called as dependency injection. Now we will understand the dependency injection. What do you mean by an dependency injection? So we have created a particular bean which is already there. So now I will just comment this particular lines. And now in a particular XML file, if you are going to set any kind of properties onto it. So what are the properties in a particular, what is a property? In a particular bean class, you are going to set a certain kind of variables. So these are all called as properties. So if you want to define values during the time of object creation, so this is called as an property dependency injection. So now we are going to demonstrate that. So we are going to use a tag called property name, which is called as ID. So you need to give the name of a particular variable which you are going to use it. The same name should be used, and here you can specify the value or you can give as a reference also, but here we are going to use the ID. I'm going to give the value. So again, for the property called message, so I'm going to give the value. So it is called I will just give hello world. Now this is about the property based dependency injection onto it. So what does it do is, whenever we are going to create a particular object or we request from an application context, which is an XML file, every time it will give me the values which is actually sourced, or the properties values have been set, and the object will be released. So this type of injection is called as, this type of dependency injection or control over the objects is called as the inversion of control. This is one form of inversion of control where we are going to set the property. So here we have not set any property, directly we are injecting the values onto the particular bean and we are extracting that. So here we will put another object in the same application context. Okay, with the same application context, I will just make it as M1. So it will be something like it's like it is the same particular values will be instantiated. So it will be instantiated and the values will be given. So I will just run this and I will show you how does the dependency injection will work. Now you can see that this is an object of M which has been taken from the same application context. We have not done any changes, so we have taken from the same application context of XML. We have created two different objects and both the objects are instantiated and it has been given out. So this type of dependency injection is called property based dependency injection. Next we will understand what do you mean by a constructor based dependency injection. So constructor based dependency injection means that you have defined a constructor, means a specific constructor is being used to create an object. So we are going to use a constructor to create an object which is already defined inside the particular class. So I'm going to use this constructor as my injection value. So I want to inject value and create an object to it. So we are going to use an XML file. So I'm going to remove this for time being, Now I will use constructor arguments. So in this constructor arguments, there are different ways in which I can tell. We can use name. So I'm going to use, we can use index either. So we are going to use index. I will tell 0 as my first index, and I can specify the value for it. So it is like I'll give 13. Next we can use constructor arguments. In the specific constructor arguments, we are going to use the index of 1. So what is the index? So we are going to use the index. So with respect to the index, I'm gonna put hello world. So this index is in a constructor arguments, we have an index of 0 and we have index of 1. It means that for a particular object, this is my index number. So this is my index of 1, this is my index of the other one. So we have index of 0 and index of 1, which has been defined. So we are going to have a reference something like this, which is based on the index. Let me see how does it will work. I'll just want to show you. I have not done any changes in here. We are going to take up only the object, and the object has been getting displayed back onto the screen. Right now, the same object has been instantiated and it has been given as an object reference to it. So it is this type of dependency injection is called as constructor based dependency injection. We can do it even the name based. Okay, we can also tell what is the object we are being used for dependency injection for the constructor arguments. These things can be also be done. So this is also based on two ways in which you can have constructor arguments. One is index, another one is name based, and this is how the constructor constructor based injection dependency injection can be done. Okay, so now we will try to understand with respect to the dependency injection as we have gone through it. So now the process of objects defining dependencies only through the constructor arguments to a factory method that we are going to demonstrate with the Java based, or the properties that are set onto the object instance, which is a constructed or returned from a factory method. The factory method is your context, so where you are going to get with respect to the beam configurations whatever has been done. So this is the two types of dependency injection which is being used. One is constructor based we have seen, and as well as property based we have seen it.